So this is today's tutorial for making a homemade face mask. What you need is 3 pieces of material that measure 6 inches by 9 inches, and then elastic, which measures 7 inches. This stuff I just use from around the house. Obviously I don't want to go out and buy anything. So here on these masks, you see I just use like headbands, old hair ties, just whatever kind of elastic you can find around the house. This elastic is actually probably a little too thick to be comfortable, but if that's what you have, that's what you have. It'll work just fine. So first thing we're going to do after we gather up all the materials is we're going to put it together. This is a piece of felt, and it is used to be kind of a filter in between. Making the mask with the felt in it is a lot more difficult just because the sewing machine catches on it. So I'm actually not going to show you how to do it with the felt. Some of these masks I made, I left a little opening so that you can insert some sort of filter in them if you want to, but I have made masks with the felt inside, and it works. It's just a little trickier.
Oh my gosh, it's so weird. The material suddenly changed. What happened? I don't know. Okay, well, at this point, I'm putting the elastic in the corners, one end of each elastic in one corner, and I'm pinning them together in preparation for sewing. So this is one edge of the fabric. Now moving on to the other edge, pinning the elastic in each corner in between the 2 sheets of fabric. You want to make sure your elastic is facing the correct way when you pin it on each side. And now you're ready to start sewing. You want to make sure you backstitch on each corner where the elastic sits. That just makes it a little more secure. Lift up your foot. Continue sewing on the long edge. Backstitch right there where the elastic sits. Come across, get to the next elastic, backstitch and forward again, spin it, and go down. And then you're going to stop in the middle of one of the edges. This is where you're going to flip the material right side out. So I'm just pulling it out here and cutting the thread. And then I'm leaving about 1 inch or 1.5 inch little hole, and then starting back down and back stitching at the elastic. I'm removing the pins, and the next thing you're going to want to do is cut the corners. It just makes it a little easier to, when you flip it right side out, just makes it a little less bulky, a little easier to handle. And now you're going to reach in the little hole that you left and flip the fabric right side out. And make sure you tuck all the corners out fully. If you need to use a pen or something to reach inside and get those corners out, that's fine, but you should be able to just pull the elastic and it'll all come out. Now you're going to iron it just to smooth it all out, make it easier for sewing a little bit later. And the next step is going to be creating the pleats. Oh my gosh, changed again. How did my outfit change so quickly? Magic. All right, so here we're creating the pleats, just folding the fabric upon itself about a little less than 1 inch and just pinning it down on each side. You're going to do this 2 times, so you're going to have 2 pleats. And it's not an exact science. It doesn't truly matter, but just make sure you get sort of an even pleat. And put your pins in such a way that the sewing machine will go over them and not break the needle, because that would be bad. So you want to put your pins in horizontally and not vertically, which I'm doing perfectly here in this video. No one's ever done it better than me. Now we're ironing it just to make it easier for sewing and get the pleats nice and crisp. Oh, outfit changed again. Weird. Okay, so we're just putting the one end where the elastic is into the sewing machine, and we're just going directly down, just straight on down. Sew that up. You can backstitch if you want, but it's not necessary. And then cut the thread, and then do the same on the other end. Just stitch it straight down. There's really no need to backstitch at this point. And trim the thread. Wow, that's so cool. Just trim the thread all around, all the excess thread. You don't want that hanging off. And there's your pleats. That provides extra space, and then that little hole right there still exists, so you can put in your filter. All done. Mask.